genuinely asking for advice. Where do I go to find a man?
Let me help you recognize when a woman had hit the wall. You know when a woman had hit the wall? When you see them crying on any social media outlet. If you don't
Well, if you don't know, the concept of hitting the wall is a term that some individuals use to describe a perceived decline in their attractiveness or their desirability of a woman, particularly for women as they age. Usually hitting the wall, they say, when the woman turns 30 or something of that. Because proponents of this idea usually argue that women reach a certain age, usually around 30, they become less desirable to potential partners. But however, well, it's important to note that opinions on this vary widely and many people reject this notion. I, for one, I tend to believe there is a wall and women should be mindful of that.
date multiple men at a time, you're going to put all your energy. You don't date multiple men at a time. You're going to put all your energy in this one man. And when
Well, I just got through having a conversation with a friend of mine, and we were discussing what do we miss most about being in a committed relationship.
No one is perfect. So as you guys are starting to date these different men and trying to find your perfect person, to find your person, your perfect partner.
Wall is a phrase used by men to describe the age at which a woman is no longer attractive.
Okay, so it turns out hit the wall is an actual phrase that is being used by men. That means that women are no longer attractive when they hit this wall. I really implore you to go and watch the rest of that video because she goes on to compare male and female celebrities in magazines and shows that even when they're close to the same age, a woman's photo will show no skin texture, whereas a man's photo will show his skin texture. We're seeing this everywhere, including in social media. We're using filters everywhere. And so we're at the point now where people see a woman in real life and don't understand that that's normal. So there is no wall, but there is a problem when we have airbrushed and filtered ourselves to this level of perfection.
Well, some individuals argue that age should not be a determining factor in a person's value or attractiveness. No, they believe that beauty and worth are not limited by the age, and that individuals of all ages have the potential for fulfilling relationships and personal growth. So, there are lots of I'll say there is a gray area in all of these, but don't be fooled, ladies. Hitting that wall is definitely real, especially now when some men have decided to go their own ways and women are loving the idea of being an independent woman. So when you're 30s and when you're in your 30s and you've not locked down a man, well, things become very rough. You hit that wall.
When I tell my clients that they should date multiple guys at once, they always get a little bit freaked out. Because when women first come to me, they're used to being in toxic situations that move too quickly. So when they hear date multiple people at once, they think that means getting intimate, texting all day, seeing this person all the time. But dating multiple people at once is different than being in a relationship with multiple people at once. I always say the beginning of a relationship should be a slow burn. Let it build. When you allow this to happen and you allow yourself to really get to know somebody fully before diving completely in, it doesn't feel uncomfortable to date multiple people at once. This doesn't always happen, right? We're not always finding multiple great people that we even want to consider going on a date with, but if it happens, you should allow yourself to. So by the end of a 6-week package with clients, they always change their minds. Plus, when you spread out your attention, you're less likely to become obsessed.
I mean, I think dating coaches, they should get a license to teach, because the idea of dating multiple people simultaneously is a practice that really, I'll be neutral here. No, not in my opinion. The idea of dating multiple people simultaneously is really a practice that some individuals advocate for as a way to explore different connections and prevent becoming too emotionally invested in one person too quickly. However, I would like to say that many others, including me, really see this approach as emotionally taxing or say insincere, preferring to focus on building deeper connections with one person at a time, I think is the preferable way to go. I'm being polite here. Let's have a civil discussion.
Women nowadays will literally be like, I can't find any good men. There are no good men left. And then they'll be like, I just need 6 feet, about like 6 inches, and like 6 figures.
Even if this video was just meant for fun, it's still another case of men acting like women have impossible standards so that they feel better about themselves when they don't meet them.
Let me help you recognize when a woman had hit the wall. You know when a woman had hit the wall? When you see them crying on any social media outlet and they're about 26 and it's yet again another failed relationship or a third relationship have not worked out and they seen all their friends married and they're still single and the clock is ticking. She hit the wall. If you see a woman on social media crying and any woman consulting them in the comments, she hit the wall, and the wall is a nasty place for a woman to be. She's about 26 going into her 30s and she had hit that wall because yet again another failed relationship. That's how you could recognize when a woman had hit the wall. Guys, I'm telling you, these women are hitting the wall year after year. They keep hitting the wall because another man has discounted them. When a man tells them, oh, it's not you, I just want something casual, it's because he's not really into her and she feel like she's not valued. You know, because they hit the wall and they realize that all their friends is married, all their friends had kids, and now she's crying. The wall isn't a fun place for a woman, fellas. She hit the wall. That's how you could recognize when a woman hit that wall. Ha!
This lady is as real as they can come. I mean, it's clear, it's simple, and she repeated it over and over. When a woman is hitting that wall after 26, maybe you've had another failed relationship and you're getting to 30 and you're seeing your friends, they are perceivably you're seeing your friends having had kids in their marriages and they look happy. Yeah, it's real, and it's a good idea that it's a lady that is also giving this advice out there. But let's move on.
How old a man gets, he's always gonna have options. Younger, finer, fitter, willing, but they wasted all their time telling all these good men, oh no, you're not my type, and I need a man that's gonna do all this stuff for me. You too broke for me. Y'all brag about the fact that y'all don't cook. You brag about the fact that you're not cleaning for nobody. You brag about the fact that you're selfish. You brag about all these things that are contrary to what a man wants. What happens is they start approaching that wall. Once they are approaching that wall, or once they hit it, they already got kids. They're not in their prime anymore. And then they get frustrated. They try to convert other women and try to convince other women that they also don't need men because now they no longer qualify. Now what are you left with? You're broken, used, washed up, your self-worth, your dignity, all of that done gone. Now what you gonna do? You love talking about yourself and you could do bad all by yourself and it's all about me and because I'm the prize. Where are your results then? If you the prize, who the prize winner? If you the prize, where is the collector of the prize?
So I just got through having a conversation with a friend of mine, and we were discussing what do we miss most about being in a committed relationship. And we both agreed that it was that emotional connection. Now, of course, we miss the sex, of course. But when you have that emotional connection with somebody, the sex is so much greater.
What was my worst date ever during my dating escapades after a divorce? I'm so glad you asked. I can't wait to tell you. 7:40, I walk out with my head held high by myself. No text, no call. But I do get a call 2 days later.
You know what I'm really tired of? Men fucking with me. I separated from an 18-year marriage in my early 40s. I'm 50 now. I would have expected it to be easier as I got older.
I've been divorced a long time, about 7 years now, and I have learned so many lessons. And I would like to save some other people some of those lessons, even though I do think some of them are good for you and you have to learn. But I think we should give each other some tips. Number one, when you've been married for 20 years and you come out thinking, oh, it's just going to be sunshine and roses, I'm going to find somebody, I'm going to have a new wonderful relationship. No, you're not.
I'm just sitting here thinking, Social media got people fooled like everybody is replaceable, and it's not true. Listen, just because you find someone who looks good doesn't mean they have good energy, it doesn't mean they have good intentions, and it does not mean that they're a good person.
Of course not.
I think one of the problems or areas where I'm lacking in my singleness is that, like, I'm not really a fan of dating multiple guys at once. And I think now, especially that I'm older, like, I barely have time for one guy. So, like, juggling multiple men, trying to see which guy is the one, I don't know. I'm just not a fan.
Love the idea that we should all be dating 3 guys at one time, but like, where do we find 3 that we're interested in? Like, it's hard enough to find one that I tolerate.
And it bothers me because these guys are acting like women are looking down on men who they would consider less than perfect. But have you ever heard a woman talk about a bum who she's in love with? Because she'll make every excuse in the world for why that man is incredible and just misunderstood. So let's say, for example, that a man has no job. She's not going to let you sit there and call him unemployed. No, she's going to tell you how it's probably because no one ever encouraged him and that he's going to be able to do anything he sets his mind to once she just believes in him. You're acting like women will only date men who make 6 figures, but I know women who are working 2 jobs with full insurance and a 401k who are dating men with 60 cents in their bank account because she thinks he has potential. I don't know how you can act like women will only settle for rich men anyways when most families are living paycheck to paycheck and can't survive on one income, because I think that means they married for love. And don't even get me started on what's between the legs, because there are women in 30-year marriages who have never successfully had a no, and you're gonna act like women are out here throwing the whole man away because of his size? Because I don't think so. In fact, there are women out here faking O's so that the men in their lives don't feel inadequate, and yet you're gonna act like we're out here bringing measuring tapes to our coffee dates? And sure, when it comes to height, maybe some women do have a preference for men who can reach the top shelf or the cookie jar, but that's all subject to change. If he's a good man with good qualities, then she may just fall in love and try to convert the whole world talking about how we love a short king. Listen, the truth is that even you don't believe this nonsense, because if you really believed that women had impossible standards, then you wouldn't be telling them to pick better men at every opportunity. So when I see videos like this, I realize that they're usually not mad about what women want. They're just mad that women don't want them.
I mean, is this lady just blinded or what? Because the truth of the matter is, the thing is, these women like having things ready made for them, and they don't want to be there for the journey, but no, they want to enjoy the rewards and the benefit that you work so hard to acquire. The proof has been shown multiple times that these ladies are only going for the top earners. If they were truly looking for the guy that they wouldn't ignore, like in their 20s, then they'll end up getting married and having kids, and they will not hit that wall. Anyway, to just round this up, I'd like to say that the attitude towards age, though, relationships and dating practices, they really vary among individuals, and there is no one size fits all approach. It's essential to respect diverse perspectives and while fostering this open and respectful dialogue on these topics. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in, and now I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.